What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Hitters and Exhaust. What is going on, guys? I'm David.
I'm Connor.
And we got some folk in the house here.
Yeah,
What's up?
What's up, man?
How you guys doing?
We got Derrick McGrew and Derrick McGrew Jr.
Yeah, I actually get to be part of it today. I get to be part of it today. I'm not just in the background.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, what are y'all up to, man? What you up to, Junior?
Not much. So we decided to take a little trip down to Myrtle, for this week before we get back going busy, So figured we relax for a few days and then get back to reality and racing and working nonstop. So it's nice to be able to relax for a few days.
Yeah. So how's Myrtle so far? When did y'all get there? Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning around like 10:30 because we stopped at Natural Bridge on the way to watch the races. So that was pretty cool. We got to catch up with the guys. Joe, I was actually helping my buddy Cody Kubich out at Natural Bridge. So that was pretty fun and got to meet some new people and see how the track's going. They're definitely making improvements in the right direction. So that's real cool to see. And now we're here just hanging out and having a good time.
Sweet. At a Natural Bridge track, they've done some work to that. Got it looking good up there.
Yeah, heck yeah. So they started off. I know Joe's just a huge race fan and lives right around the corner from the track, and he saw the opportunity to do something big to the racetrack and get it back going. And it's definitely going in the right direction. I'm glad to see it.
Sweet. So how long a ride is it down here?
Well, if we go straight shot to here, it's 12 hours. Well, to here, it's probably 13. But when we went to Natural Bridge first, it was 9 hours there, and then from there to here is 6 hours. So, we like he said, we wanted to finally get to see a race down there at Natural Bridge, and what Tiffany and her crew has done there is pretty cool. We were there all day long and kind of just watched from a distance, and Derrick was out there packing the track with Logan.
I saw that.
The Packer car blew a tire. I thought they were going to take out the tractor.
Oh, wow.
But they worked really hard. The guys on the track, they did the best they could and made the track smooth. They kept some moisture in it, and it was pretty good racing all night long. And like I said, Tiffany and her crew there, Brittany and the girls and the guys there working real hard, and they gave the fans a good racetrack. There was a lot of fans. The Mid-East Tour was there. So you had bumper jacks up there,
yeah.
And they put on a good show. No dust and smooth. There's a few things that, it's a work in progress and they're making improvements every week. But all in all, I think I'd give them a 7 out of 10 and a few adjustments. And I think that, they're not far off a 9 because a 10's just impossible. That's a unicorn.
That don't happen.
That's a unicorn, you know what I mean? But they're doing a really good job. And, I'm happy and proud to be somewhat affiliated with them at the track. They've been supporters of ours, and of course we show love back and we support them.
Cool. Well, Derrick, I reckon we'll go ahead and get into this since we're talking about all this racing stuff. You've had some news coming up, or you've had some news here lately. Been pretty exciting. Speaking of all these dirt tracks, but you've venturing over onto the dark side over here that we always say, over here on the asphalt side a little bit.
Yeah, right when we got back from Volusia and Speed Weeks, the just kind of opportunity that popped up, and not an opportunity that's usually likely to happen for some people like us, up north running dirt racing. So it was definitely pretty exciting to get that opportunity. And got to thank Tim and Rita for giving me the opportunity, and all the people in the background that have been pushing my name and just anytime they see an opportunity for me, they make sure they mention me, and got to thank all those guys, and just hopefully we can take this opportunity and turn it into something big. It's a huge step, just getting our feet in the door in the NASCAR world, and it's just the first step at something that could be really, really big.
For any of you that haven't seen it, that we've shared it, that he shared it, it's been everywhere. Derrick has had a opportunity to jump in a ARCA ride there. It's going one day running the ARCA East series. Yeah, ARCA East. Yeah, so that's pretty big. That's pretty big step, I will say, up the asphalt ladder for someone not having any asphalt experience.
Like I said, it's not something we expected. If we were to venture over to the asphalt world, get into something like a legend car or something like that, to start off with, there's something small, but to have that opportunity, and especially so early in my career. I said I'm only 15, so it feels like it's been forever. We've been racing since I was 4, so it's definitely been stressful at times. But just to get that definitely took a little weight off our chest and said it's actually paying off,
For sure, man. Well, I want to get back real quick before we get into too much. Everybody have a happy Easter. Have a happy
Absolutely, man.
Have a good Easter.
Yep.
Have a good church service.
It was great. It really was.
That's
Yep.
good.
How about you?
We did. We had we were packed.
We were too. It was a crowd.
packed. We had breakfast at church. We had all this fun stuff, and it was good. So,
We actually decided to do like Sunday school on Easter, which is very rare for us.
Oh.
Usually we just do 2 services, but we just did one service, kind of like an overflow auditorium, and it was pretty cool. It was a good service.
Yeah, for us, it was different because last year at this time we had to do a job, and we drove from New York to Miami. Me and Derrick did, and we delivered some furniture for a couple, and we were driving back. So it was Easter. It was about 11 at night, and we ended up grabbing some leftovers. So this year, we actually made it down here in time, and me, Derrick, his best friend, business partner, crew guy, Logan, and friends of ours from up north. They come down here every year, so we all got together yesterday at their condo, and I did some cooking, cooked some steaks. We had steaks, corn on the cob, shrimp, potatoes, and but there was almost one casualty during dinner, and it was me. You know, I was running back and forth from the stove doing shrimp. I had steaks on the grill, and somebody closed the screen door, and when they did, I don't even know how to explain it. You know, I was running back. I had a big knife, a big grill fork, and I hit the screen face first. And when I did, the screen door fell down, but it didn't fall all the way down. So my momentum carried me forward, and I tripped over the door. And when I did, I was going down, so I threw the knives and all the seasonings.
You better answer that damn phone, boy.
I did. I made about 5 foot. I missed the concrete, and I hit the deck rolling, and I just did like 3 rolls forward, and it was something I guess you had to see. It was just it was crazy. So that's how we started off our dinner, was with a little entertainment, and that was me hitting the deck.
Well, we just got a phone call here. I think we're all in trouble.
Sterling?
No.
Who's on there?
Are you there?
What are you doing?
Oh, I was going to say, Earl.
What's up, Earl?
Hey, I want to know why I didn't get a stop-by visit.
Well, I think your stop-by visit might be on the way home.
Oh, no, forget it. You're going to spring break without me.
Well, trust me, I'd much rather have you with me, because I'm all by myself here. These guys took off last night as soon as we got here.
Where am I going?
To your favorite place in the world, Myrtle Beach.
You don't want to. I left the room up to these guys because they wanted to do spring break. So I said, listen, if you guys want to do spring break, you figure out the room, you get the room, and I'll drive.
Didn't go.
And we rolled into this place last night on the beach. And
oh boy,
if I was their age, I guess it'd be okay. But
that'd be perfect for me then.
You know how much we travel, and this room leaves a lot to be desired. And
that says a lot.
Yeah,
too.
We've been.
Hey, it's okay. It's spring break.
Yeah, it's spring break. I think I'm gonna have a couple drinks tonight to make things a little bit better.
The pictures were definitely a little different.
Yeah. Why we got you on the phone? What you been up to?
Just working.
Y'all turning them out up there?
Turn them out left and right.
As always. And
then he's got me calling him every once in a while, bothering him, messing him up.
I try to bother him every once in a while.
I try not to. I can picture him every time I call just to say, hey, what's up? See how he's doing. I can picture him running through, scratching his head. And I'm like, all right, I try to get off the phone quick because I know he's got a bunch of stuff going on.
It's good now. It's after the 1st of April, so I'm a lot better.
Well, good. That means I can bring you a motor.
Yeah, come on.
Good. I got to go up there anyway because somebody left parts up there for me, and then they come down here. So
yeah, I know. How's that?
It didn't work out right. It did not work out like I planned. Don't worry.
No, this wasn't part of my plan.
So Earl, started a season for you real quick while you on the phone, man. Started this racing season here. How's it been for you so far with all your guys?
Good. I need to. I'm trying to do it tonight, but I need to update on all the wins here the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been slacking.
Well, I mean, it happens. It happens.
It happens. No, it's been great. Everybody's really had a good year so far. So it started off great for us. So, and I think it's just going to keep getting better.
Good deal. Good deal. So while you're on the phone, man, we tell everybody on here every week, as you always hear, if people are looking for some serious horsepower to go under their hood, to get in touch with Earl Ramey, because that's where all the magic happens. Am I right, Derek?
For sure. We I don't even know how we got hooked up with Earl. Earl knew us.
Nobody knows how they get hooked up with Earl.
Well,
It just happens.
Earl knew us before we knew him, and it's one of those things. Once we met, there was just too many things. I think there was too many things that just were what they were. He's got a son named Derrick, spelled the same way, and he spent his whole life doing the same thing.
Yeah, that gets confusing as hell after a while.
And he spent his whole life doing the same stuff basically we do, and doing the same thing with his son, and it was just things just meshed. And his wife treats Derrick like she's got another kid named Derrick. So, their family. It's not just a. It's not.
I
Just
don't know how the hell I ended up with 2 kids named Derrick.
Yeah, and I don't know what you want to call me, a stepfather-in-law, father-in-law, uncle. I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of Derricks.
You're
here.
my brother from another mother.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, cool, Earl. Well, why you're here?
I'll let y'all go.
No.
Y'all have a good one.
No. Hold on one second. Why you're here? If somebody else is looking to put some power in their car, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Just give my cell phone out, just like everybody's got. 704-500-3322.
Don't call on Sunday, please.
Yeah, don't call on Sunday anymore, though. I'm well, unless you really, really need me. But
there you go.
And
I'm trying my best to have a day.
Don't call after 9:00. Any
Right?
day.
Hey,
Yeah,
Earl.
but
Hey, Earl.
Yeah.
Is the boat ready?
I ain't even gonna answer that.
Boat ready.
Is the boat ready?
The boat's absolutely ready. Spotless, cleaned the hell out of it. It's ready.
And as long as we've been friends now, it's going on. We've got a few years now, and it seems like just yesterday. But we have not been out on the boat
Well, now
at all.
I haven't been out on the boat
Whose
either.
problem is that?
I haven't
Whose
been out on the
fault is
boat.
that?
Now I have been on the boat. I haven't been out on the boat. But somebody had a messed up foot the last time I was around there, and they couldn't really go out on the boat.
Yeah, I don't think I climb them stairs that good.
No, it didn't work out too good.
I'm waiting for the phone call on like a Wednesday. It says, "Hey, listen, I got this guy that's looking for a driver for whether it's a modified or a late model, and I'm going to pack up and we're going to hit a Friday night, Saturday night track down here, and we're going to spend a Sunday on that boat."
Heck yeah.
That's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
working on it.
All right, Earl. We appreciate you hollering at us.
All right, guys. Have a good time.
All right, Earl.
You boys stay out of trouble.
Of course, of course.
We're trying.
Not you, Big Derek. I know you're going to be in trouble. I meant the 2 little squirts right there.
Yeah, you got to watch out for them. They were out till like 2:00 last night. So
We've been good so far.
Absolutely. We don't need no more kids named Derek.
not yet.
He told me they had some girl driving them around down there, so you know how that works out.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Great.
there'll be some TikToks and stuff being posted here throughout the week. So
Keep you updated.
you'll all be proud of them.
All right. Good deal. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Take
All
it
right,
easy,
y'all.
Earl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our good friend Earl Ramey dropping on with us this afternoon. I like it when Earl stops by.
It's always fun and
Always it.
got to meet some new people and see how the track's going. They're definitely making improvements in the right direction, so that's
Always good.
it's real cool to see. And
funky here. Get off of there. I could hear ourselves.
Watch our own show.
I think I was. Make sure volume was good. Oh, cool. Well, so anyway, let's get back into the racing side.
heck yeah.
So, you just talked a little bit about getting started in this ARCA deal. What, you've always been a dirt guy. Grew up dirt, bleed dirt, I think. Bleed that good old orange, black
Always.
dirt that y'all got up there. So, what got you interested in this asphalt side?
I mean, nothing really. I mean, I said I feel like everyone's end goal in racing is to end up in NASCAR. You know, even if they say they don't. I mean, if anyone gets the opportunity to go race NASCAR, you know they'll take it. You know, being a race car driver, you know, I know that. And this kind of came up out of nowhere. We didn't even have it. We never even thought of it. It's just nothing that we thought of, especially happening this early on. It came out of nowhere and said you couldn't pass up on the opportunity. It's a huge opportunity to go somewhere with it, and so it's just it's really cool to see us going places.
It's very cool. It's very cool from this side to. I looked at my phone the other day. You can't see it right now. I should have showed it to you when Earl called. There's it's just a collage of pictures that I've taken or people have taken while I've interviewed people over years. And actually, there's a picture of me interviewing you the first time we ever met at Charlotte.
Charlotte, was that where it is?
At Charlotte. And what was that? 3 years ago now,
Yeah,
I guess it
probably
was.
3 years
Were
ago.
we racing that year?
No, you weren't racing.
No racing?
You weren't racing. Y'all were
That was
just
probably
hanging
that
out
was the
down
year
there.
when we had our car there. We weren't racing in Charlotte, right?
Yes.
We were going to Louisiana.
I think.
No, it was
No, it was before that.
It was
Year before that.
Yeah.
Year before that, yeah. It was at the short track thing,
Yeah.
whatever. But anyway, and just to see, I was like, man, he was so much smaller then.
Yeah.
Even though he was just as tall as me then, but I was like, it just knowing what you come from just in that short amount of time to the things you're doing now is it's pretty cool, man.
So we
Pretty cool to
we
see.
couldn't do it without all the people, especially you guys. It's awesome to be able to build a relationship, especially with people like you and said Randy Keene, Earl Ramey, all those people that go out of their way to help us out. It's definitely, we wouldn't be where we are without those people, and it's awesome to have them along with us on the journey.
Sweet. Well, I want to talk about some. We typically talk about some news on this show, somewhat, I guess we'll say. So y'all are here, so y'all join us for all that good stuff this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so this past week, obviously, dirt racing at Bristol. But before that, I want to get into, and just as a neutral side as y'all are, I want y'all's reaction to this. It is all in the news last week on the NASCAR side. Hendrick appealed their penalty to all 4 cars. Hood louvers on the cars deemed illegal at Phoenix. They appealed it. Appeals panel come back and gave them all their points back. So 100 points per car, but kept the fine, $100,000 per car. And then on top of that, turnaround, Colleague Racing had one car. That one hood louver was bad, the other one was fine. Did not rescind their points penalty for the same exact infraction. Actually, I guess you would say less of an infraction. When you hear something like that from the NASCAR side, what do you think about that?
How about I answer first?
Go first.
I think we could answer this differently if we weren't starting to head down this road onto the blacktop. So it's a real slippery slope. Sometimes you'll hear people talking about the heads of NASCAR and maybe our political system.
Well, in this case, real quick before you get too far, I'm not going to put it on NASCAR because NASCAR gave the penalty for bad hood louvers. Okay. They did not want that penalty rescinded. The appeals panel is not affiliated with NASCAR.
That's what I want to know. How do you not have control over your own appeals panel?
Well, they don't. They don't have a control over it. So
yeah, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
But with that, that
they
being said,
appoint them, but after that, they are basically their own entity over there.
Was it the same race when they both got?
Yes.
yeah,
It was the same race.
A lot of times, in my opinion, in a situation like that, you just let me know that they weren't affiliated with NASCAR. A lot of times not being affiliated on paper doesn't really mean you're not affiliated with NASCAR or any other business,
Very true.
And sometimes it seems like it's a big, boys club, girls club, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And, the cool kids get away with a little bit more than the not so cool kids. And at the end of the day, the money, shows its ugly head. And that's, where are they going to lose the most money? At the end of the day is, if you get Mr. Hendrick mad and he decides that he's going to start pulling away, that's a big problem.
Very true.
Myself, if I was on the panel, if I was going to give back the points and keep the money, I would have done it with everybody here. You know what? Everyone gets their points back, keep the money, and they get what they want.
I get that, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, was it illegal or was it not illegal? If it was illegal,
It's illegal.
it's illegal. Points and fines
Yeah.
should stand. If it's not illegal, drop it off.
Yeah, they're thinking outside the box.
Yeah, right. But I can't understand personally. Given part, it's like you can't be halfway pregnant.
No.
I mean,
I agree with you, but if you look at a lot of things that go on in this country today, racing, non-racing, things that seem very black or white, it is or it isn't where we are today.
No.
So I think too many people are trying to please too many people instead of just doing what's right. And I think if we just get back to doing what's right or wrong in racing or anything else, whether it's rules making, driving, holding ourselves accountable, just right or wrong, and no gray area, I think we'd get back on track a lot faster.
I imagine that rule has been changed in there, but that's what I was going to ask. What'd you think about it?
Yeah. I'll play devil's advocate for a second. 'Cause I agree. I don't understand it at all. It was an OEM part, and Hendrick claimed that the way they got it from the factory was not to specs they were graded by.
Well, they said the hood wouldn't even shut on the motor.
Yeah.
They said they were too deep is what they had to cut them.
But yeah, I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like you give Colleague slide a little bit more. Was Colleague even competitive in that race?
No,
that's what I'm saying.
No, Hendrick cars won the race.
It should just black and white.
And I am a Hendrick fan personally. Yeah. I am a big Hendrick fan. I like Rick Hendrick. I've met Rick Hendrick fortunately, and he is one of the nicest guys I've ever met for my life. And but I'm just one. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's not, it's not. I don't know. As a driver, what you feel about that over there?
I mean, like he said, we're going down that path where we can kind of have a little filter, on what we say. But like you were saying, I feel like both teams should have been able to, get their points back. And if the fine they wanted to keep the fine, to keep the fine. But for them to give the points back to one team and not the other, I feel like that's kind of, not right of them.
And I've kind of wondered about it, and I guess I'm a little more outspoken about it, I guess.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
But no, they give us a little sticker, and I'm like, I ain't putting it on my car. But anyway, the appeals panel is picked supposedly at random every case. So the same appeals panel that saw the Hendrick cars did not see the Colleague cars. So there's just zero consistency in that thing.
Well, NASCAR did add the rule now that the appeals panel can't revoke any points.
Right, they can't. They either
can't reinstate points.
Right, they basically just put in there the way I come down and read it. Finally, was basically like I just said. You could either deem it wasn't a penalty, or it is a penalty. Basically, so I think that'll help in the future. But it's just I don't know. It seems like you were saying, kind of the boys' club there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of light. The cameras everywhere.
Oh.
So it's and we don't always get 100% the entire backstory.
That's right.
We get the part where it's got us on here talking about it right now. Because if they gave it to us as simple as it is or it isn't, we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Well, the one that we did get 100% backstory on, one more appeal or a penalty that was appealed last week. Denny Hamlin appealed his penalty, got docked. I think it was 25 points and $50,000. I think it was for intentionally. They said wrecking. He didn't wreck. But anyway, intentionally wrecking Ross Chastain on the last lap that same race at Phoenix. And what happened was nothing was said about it. Denny Hamlin now has a podcast himself. And on Monday came out basically and said, yeah, I went in there and I hit him. Well, what he said was, I just turned loose the steering wheel.
I was taking him with me.
Yeah, I was taking him with me. Because of their past, obviously. Well, NASCAR turned around, found him. Well, he appealed it. Appeals panel upheld that penalty to the fullest. So I don't know that
where did all this appealing come from? I feel like it used to just be like you get disqualified at the track, and that was it.
That was my thing.
Yeah, you go to dirt track, with our cars, and I'm sure any cars, but coming from up north, it was basically even when we went go-kart racing. If you took a guy out, you got DQ'd.
Right there.
One of the things that I so didn't like was the way they ran go-karts down south. When we started running down south here and going to all the big races, if you were a leader, you were not unless you were checked out for some freak reason, you were not winning the race.
No.
Because the guy in second, they were gonna wreck you. Yeah. And when they wrecked you for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, they drove you down to 3, dumped you, you're wrecked, they win the race, everyone's cheering, it's great. I always say, hey man, the kid who did that should have been DQ'd or adult, whatever class it was. Now third place gets a win. Well, now, if you race your butt off and you were leading the race coming for last lap, you get a little bump and run where you side you up one thing, but there was so much just intentional dumping and nobody did anything about it. So now you're in the big cars and it's the same thing, where they came from, it was allowed. So now it's, you're throwing a fit, you're going to wreck him and I win the race, he doesn't, but you get up north and that's really not how it is. You're going to dump a guy, most times you're going to get DQ'd. You're done. You're DQ'd for a night, and if it was too bad, you use your car for a weapon, you might not come back for a few weeks,
Yeah. I will say, fortunately, around here in our classes, you can do that if you want. Most of the guys walk back with maybe missing a tooth or two if that happens, which I don't condone, but, sometimes you got to get your point across.
In adult classes for sure. It's just when you get to junior classes, these kids, that are coming up that are going to be the next stars, you can't train them one way and then expect them to change the way they've been taught their entire career.
That's right.
And not all the kids are like that. You got some good ones, but if you go to any races, you've been there, see it. And they're doing the same thing when they get in big carts.
Yeah,
it's just a big go kart for them. And
we're having that issue right now, and me and Connor both. We're having that issue, in especially the Legends class. There is a lot of young guys out there.
So,
that's how they're taught.
Well, so many people that can make fast laps by themselves, but put them on a track with 12 other cars, and it's just like they're a weapon.
It's like they have no racecraft.
Yeah.
No, it's just how they're being taught. There's not, and that's, and there's some good ones. There's some kids that you race with legends that we race go karts with and stuff and battled with, and they're doing well. And they're moving up through the ranks, and they've got some good people behind them. But it's just one of those deals. It's a product of their environment.
Well, that's been a hot topic lately, Derek. A lot of drivers, especially in NASCAR side, talking about driving with respect.
Yeah.
And I know you're not a driver. I've watched you, and I know you're not someone that drives in there and just drives over top of somebody, because that's not how you were taught. What do you feel about that? What do you feel it's one of them things? All right, well, that's how they drove me. That's how they're going to get drove back, or is it just one of them? Them things, go out there and do the best you can.
Like you said, I grew up racing, and being him being my mentor. I always learned to be able to be respectful on the racetrack, especially me getting the opportunity to get into a big car so young of an age at 10 years old. They were always watching for a reason to get me, to not let me race. So I had to go out there every single time and, drive with as much respect as possible. So, that definitely helped me, it helps me now, being able to learn, how to drive with respect a lot early on. But it's just, it's one of those things that, if somebody does, drive me the wrong way, definitely you put it in the back of your head for next time, there's a coming for the win or something, then they'll remember that they drove you the wrong way one time. And, it's definitely, they're going to get it back eventually. But it's not one of those things that, if somebody, bumps me out of the way, I'm not going to drive in the next turn and, right. Dump them, it's something that you like I said, you're racing for the win, and on the last lap you use them up, and said they'll remember what they did to you, and they want to come say something after the race. You tell them, listen, it's something that you did to me, a few races ago, and it's you always remember it.
Well, a lot of people also think, and I will say this on the people who don't watch racing or not entrenched in racing as we are, they tend to still see racing, even though y'all are up north, I get it, but they still see a lot of racing as a redneck sport, and they think that's how we drive. You just go in there and run over somebody. Yes, that does happen every once in a while, but there typically is a reason behind it most of the time. Sometimes there's just idiots out there, but you can drive somebody hard and without wrecking them. And that's what I try to tell a lot of people. It's like, and nobody ever really sees it, but that other driver knows it when you're doing it, when you're not giving them that extra room that they need coming off the corner, when you're pinching them down just a little bit more on exit to keep their drive.
You know all about that, don't you?
I might. I might. Every now and then you got to do it. There's some of them that just run you slap off the track when you come off the corner, and I still know that number too. But I'm just saying. But that's personally what I like about racing.
Yeah.
Is because there's a mentality, I guess, we have to go at it with. We know we can't just go out there and run over everybody. One, you're not going to race long if you do that because you're going to be black flag. You're going to be off track. Two, you, just like myself and Connor, if we go out there and do that to somebody, we tear our stuff up. Guess who's got to fix it?
You guys.
We do,
Same
just like
us.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's the difference. I think that's
Definitely
something I can say for you probably that you growing up racing like you have is probably obviously you've had good leadership, but having to work on the car yourself makes a big difference in that too.
So we've always had good race cars, and he's really smart with this stuff when it comes to setup and stuff. But like you said, we can't just roll another car out of the trailer. So you got to go out there and drive with respect, and not use the race car as it's a battering ram. You know what I mean? So yes, like you said, it's me and him working on it usually during the week. So it's not like we have a crew of 10 guys that we can leave and they'll be working in the shop and the car will be done for us. So you definitely got to be able to learn how to drive with some respect and not beat your race car up because it's definitely going to make it for a long week when afterwards.
For sure. Senior, before we go any farther in all that, I want to ask you, we've always talked to Junior about all his racing and everything. Just a little bit about, he said you were his mentor, and we know you raced, but tell us about your start in racing, where you came from in all of it.
My grandfather and my uncle raced my whole life. I raced go-karts. I didn't get to race go-karts like Derrick does. My grandfather got me a go-kart. We'd go race a local track. But I was always working on my uncle's cars. And probably, I don't know, in early 90s, he was working a regular job, and I was just in, I think ninth grade. But I'd get out of school, and I'd be home, and I'd strip the car, fix it, work on it. He'd show up on Friday. We'd go there, and we're winning races. And that just turned into me starting my career as a crew chief. And then I did it for a few drivers. I ended up going with Jack Johnson, and then I ended up being Ronnie Johnson's crew chief. And we won a lot of races all over the place. And, it was tough for me, in the racing world where we came from. There wasn't a lot of young people or just people that were different. I'll say, in doing what I was doing. And, people were more, I had a lot of friends, but, there wasn't a lot of huge opportunities. You kind of had to take them. And I always wanted to be a driver. And we won a bunch of races with Ronnie Johnson, and it just felt like, what, if I'm going to do it, I need to do it now. I was, I think, 23 years old. It was like 2001. And I had a buddy, had a truck. I had another buddy, had a trailer. The guy that built motors for Ronnie's small blocks, he had a motor I could use. And then it was at a year, a friend of mine let me take his car out for a race, and I did pretty well. So I went and borrowed some money, got an old car from Ronnie Johnson. It was an older one, and we went out. And that first year, I always knew that what the mechanic side of things I was good. I just had to learn how to drive the race car. And my second, I got close, and then my second year I started winning. And that was just that, that was it. I went from being a kid in the grandstand saying one day I want to be a race car driver to now I'm a race car driver, and now I'm winning races. And we just kept racing. We raced more and more, and won more races, traveled, local tracks, a couple hours away, winning races, and picked up a ride. Won a bunch of races, picked up another ride, and just kept doing that. And, went back driving for myself. And then, picked up another ride in 2015, someone I had driven for before. And he called me up and said, "Do you want to go back racing again?" We went back racing, won some more races, won a championship. And that's when we were doing a lot of go-kart racing. And it was tough because, my whole career I'd won races all over, but I never won a championship. So finally now we're winning championships. It seemed like, I finally matured enough to where, stuffing it in there on the last lap to get the win. Maybe, we'll finish second tonight. And at the end of the year, we won a championship. Where before, there was nobody giving me anything in the beginning. So I took a lot, and in my beginning of my career, I was, guys weren't happy racing against me sometimes. And it just was what it was. Like I said, I had to take I was taking more than they were giving me, and I had to, and I did that, and I got the respect. They knew I wasn't going to be a guy that they were going to push around and take advantage of, because I was going to, I had to pay for my own stuff. I had to work on it myself, but if I had to use up a Nerf bar, or I'd use up a bumper to get you out of the way, I was going to use up some parts. I'm glad Derrick doesn't drive like that because I can't afford it. But back then, being a young kid, owning my own stuff, just living out my dreams. It was, I was going to get it one way or another. I was going to get it, and we did that for a long time. And we got to the point where I had to make a choice. I was racing on Friday nights, driving 8-9 hours from race go-kart. And 2016, I told the guy I was driving for, I can't do it full time. He wasn't super happy, but I found another guy to drive the car who's been winning for him, won some championships. So it worked out for him. And then that following year, they told me when he was 10 years old, we just got back from Australia. He was 9, turning 10. And they said, oh, you know what? We're going to give him a shot. He can move up to the big cars. I'm like, man, this isn't what I was, not yet, But I said, all right, let's do it, and we set a 5-year goal, and hopefully we could win some races in the rookie class within 5 years. And here we are 5 years later, and we've surpassed that in ways I never thought even possible. If you would have told me, this is the start of 6 year, but if you had told me when we started that the start of our 6-year racing, he's going to have won as many races as he did, and then championships and running big blocks and, testing in super late models with Willie Milliken, to testing in ARCA and getting a NASCAR license, I would have told you, what kind of drugs are you on? I mean, that doesn't happen to guys like us. We can't afford those things, but we're affording it by just building relationships with great people. We travel, we put the work in, we put the miles in, and we've met great people along the way. And even a lot of people that I did a lot for when I was younger, that I was like, man, maybe when am I going to get a little bit back, And it never really came back to me then when I thought it should come. But, karma and those good deeds, there's no expiration date, and it's like, when it's going to come, it's going to come. And I feel now that some of those things that I didn't think I was ever going to get rewarded for, I'm starting to get rewarded for some of that stuff I did back then, just not myself. And, now I'm doing it for my son. And, and at the end of the day, it's even more enjoyable watching him do it and get these opportunities than it was with myself. As a racer, after that first win, you're always chasing that high, and it doesn't seem like you can ever get it because that first one meant so much. When he's racing, all these accomplishments, it's like that high every single time. So it's a no-brainer for me. I get stressed out with him sometimes up and down the road and at home, but when he's in the race car and we're at the racetrack, that's our happy place. And that's where race life real came from. It's when I tell you, it's not just a race, it's a lifestyle. That's anybody knows us that knows that's exactly what it is.
Cool. I love it. All right, let's finish on the NASCAR stuff we never got finished with. But all right, so staying in y'all's wheelhouse, there at Bristol this past weekend in the dirt. We've been there. We've been there a couple years ago, watching all that good stuff. First of all, we talked about a little bit this past week or last week, but now that y'all here, no super late models, no modifieds, no street stock. They did have the Steel Block Bandits and the American All-Star Series. I think both classes limited at like 30 cars a piece or something like that. That was all the racing that was there at Bristol this time. What do you think?
I really don't know. I mean, it definitely sucks to not see, all the dirt racers there. Sure, I know all the fans love to see the NASCARs on dirt, but I know all the true dirt fans love to see, all the real dirt cars there. And, it's kind of weird that they didn't bring them back, and they only brought the Steel Block Bandits and, the American All-Star Series, like you said. So I'm not sure why they would do that.
What you think?
Like anything, I'm sure it boiled down to money.
That's what.
Being able. As much racing as they had a couple years ago when we were there, what I thought was a downfall is they spread it out so far.
Right.
Instead of having everybody there like 1 week. So if they had all the cars there, say Wednesday to Sunday, every dirt series, just have one big long week of racing,
Right.
where the fans could say, "Hey, we want to knock this off our bucket list," and all dirt fans could come and get tickets and spend a week there. I think that would have been great, but it was so spread out. This week you had this, then you had this, then you had this, and the modifieds were coming to Northeast, so they spread so much. As dirt fans, we're fans of all dirt racing.
Oh yeah.
When we go to Charlotte, we watch them. The four cylinders put on a heck of a show.
Yes.
That's awesome. So when they were in Bristol, it's the same thing. At your local track, I don't always watch them, but you're at Bristol, you're watching these little things rip around there, and these guys put just as much work and soul in as we do.
I think some of them dudes in the four cylinders at Bristol was putting more work because about
Yeah.
every one of them changed the motor
sure
while they were there.
I can't imagine.
to have to separate us and have to pick and choose when you go, I think they shot themselves in the foot there. That's a big place. You could have held
Huge.
You could have held 10,000 fans and 10,000 drivers.
And one day there, looking at my watch that day, I think I walked over 10 miles that day,
Oh yeah.
and it was all uphill. I think
Yeah,
every
going-
bit of it is uphill.
Everything was uphill.
And that's one of the things I tell people about Bristol. It's like, you always hear your parents. I walked to school uphill both ways, and you're looking at them like, that doesn't make any sense. But I tell people, when you go to Bristol, you walk uphill both ways. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, go to Bristol. When you walk to the track, it's uphill. When you walk out of the track and back to your camper or wherever, it's uphill. And it makes no sense unless you're there and you realize, wow, this is where they came up with that. I walk uphill both ways.
Yeah, that place is that's what I want to ask them now. When they say they walked uphill both ways to school every day, I'm like, did you go to school at Bristol?
Yeah, for sure. But it was awesome racing there. It just, I think they tried to spread it too thin, and you had to pick and choose.
I asked guys last week, and y'all know probably a little more about it than all of us do. It seemed like possibly, and I know talking to Earl as I have, Bristol was tough on equipment. Definitely tough on motors. Just a lot of hanging RPM along for pretty much the whole race. Because some of the boys, if you're in a green flag race, I mean, it was just wide open the whole
Motors
time.
and cars, you're going so fast. If you wreck, you're tearing some.
That's what I was fixing to say. And if they did wreck, it just destroyed a car.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it. Kind of guys might have been like,
Well,
maybe
yeah,
not.
you're for what you got out of it. Was it worth going and knocking down two $50,000 motors? Or taking a 3/4 of a season off of a $50,000 motor. It doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes. They did it the one time.
Yeah.
The novelty's worn off.
Yeah.
You went to Bristol, got it done. But if they lined everything up in the series we're going there, they'd go back anyway.
That's what I was
I saw somebody say last night watching the race they should take the red flag brakes that the Cup teams have and bring World Outlaws or something in there and run them during the red flags or run a 40-lap race.
Yeah.
I'm like, that would be great, but that track would never last.
Jay's barely hanging on right now.
The Cup race when they go dirt and stuff, these teams, they've got plenty of money, and whether they wanted to run late models or whatever, if you're gonna have 3 or 4 dirt races, let them build dirt race cars.
See, and that's kind of my thing, and I said that if these are supposed to be and they will tell you these are some of the greatest drivers in the world, why not let them get in a late model and let's race that?
Well, and
let's have so many races on dirt. I think the problem is they're just scared that Kyle Larson will go out there.
Well, I just watched a video on the way down here. Kyle Busch even said that. He said these cars aren't meant for dirt. You know what I mean? That's what he said.
Those cars they're running now are meant for a road course.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say a late model. I'd like to see them, which is close to a Cup car, is what they call a sportsman down here. The ones that the street stocks up by us.
Yeah,
they're very close to what a Cup car is, but it's a dirt car, and you're gonna have to drive those things. You're on 6-inch tires, and our buddy Devin, he runs one, and he gets in there and he runs awesome. He's an awesome wheel guy, but I'd like to see him tell these Cup teams, this is what you got. You got to build these for the dirt races, and go race. Yeah. And you'll see some good racing. They're going to be slide jobs. They're going to be side by side, and you're going to be able to see a guy like, you could see a kid like Devin Moran or Derrick McGrew Jr. or one of you could really shake up the world when you bring one of these young kids that are ripping, one of the PV kids, someone like that,
That's
up
right.
here put him in a car out there, race against your best drivers in the country, and all of a sudden this no-name kid put a whooping on him.
I've wondered that in years past if we're going to say at a Cup level, NASCAR Cup, because that is the premier racing series in America. If we're going to try to claim that these are the best drivers out there, I think we need to be in multiple disciplines of racing, personally. I think we need to be on, obviously, short tracks, big tracks, road courses, and dirt.
Yeah, and different kind of race cars.
And different kind of race cars. That's what I was going to say. And different kind of race cars.
And Kyle Larson's proved that he can do that.
Yes. I don't know if, did it need to be in a sprint car? Did it need to be in a late model? Whatever. I don't know. But anyway.
Put him in a late model. Let him go to Eldora for the All-Star race.
Whew. There's been some rumblings this past week that the Prelude might be coming back.
I think Kyle Busch Kyle Larson mentioned it.
He's
going to have no choice. After watching what volunteers just did and the amount of people there, if you're a businessman and you're a race fan, you got to bring it back.
I'm kind of scared that, it's going same fate as I think it's going to be the last one at Bristol. I do. I think Bristol is done for now. I think we may be wearing it out, bring it back for a year, then just come on year after year after year. I don't know. I think like you said, the novelty kind of wears off of it quick. It's like, all right, we did it, done. All right, let's bring it back once every 5 years. Be something to look forward to, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But at Bristol, good old dirt track ringer, I guess we'll have to call him, Superman, Jonathan Davenport, jumped in a truck in a Cup Series car. Also, Tyler Carpenter was in a truck. He did not do too well. He hit everything but the pace car.
Tyler did?
Yeah. He finally demolished the truck. He after his own fourth caution, he was done. At that point, he could not drive anymore. I hated that for Tyler because he did pretty good at Knoxville, actually, in the truck, but he didn't do too good at Bristol. I think I think the banking is just too much.
Different kind of racetrack.
It gets so hard packed and so black that they end up driving them like asphalt car. And I think that's a tough thing for the dirt guys to come in there and do.
Yeah, especially
because they got in their head, I'm on dirt. This is what I do on dirt.
Especially like a short track racer like Tyler. It's not what he's used to.
Yeah, and you got to come in there, back the corner up.
Yeah, it's hard to
roll to center. And it's like, how do you do that?
Keep it as straight as you can.
But Jonathan did come up, finish 14th in the truck race. Somehow he kept his nose clean, ran 20th most of the night. So that was impressive to see, but he just stayed clean the whole time out there. Didn't have too good a look in the Cup race. Jonathan Davenport, he was running fairly decent, 20th or so. And when Kyle Larson got spun, he come by and sideswiped him and broke a tire rod. So not too good a showing for him on that. But he said these aren't dirt track cars. Kyle Larson said in his interview,
"Oh yeah, did you see that?
We do not need to be running these cars on dirt."
He said we don't need. Yeah, period.
Kyle Busch too. Yeah,
Kyle Busch said the same thing.
Some of the best Cup drivers are saying that.
Kevin Harvick says the same thing. I think I'm on the same boat now. I liked it. I liked the year of it. I liked the novelty of it. Same way.
For sure.
See what happens. I just do not think this car, especially.
No.
They were shifting.
Yeah. I say
that's wrong.
Yeah, I say hats off for giving it a try.
Yeah.
I think it needed to be shaken up. The spring race at Bristol was getting.
And maybe it would work, but just maybe not at Bristol.
Maybe somewhere else. Yeah.
Maybe if we took them to
a real dirt track or something.
Exactly.
I just think bottom line, you can't run a Cup car on dirt.
I don't think it ever worked either.
No, and you mentioned Jonathan Davenport. What some people don't even realize is him racing dirt was an accident.
Yeah.
He was an asphalt racer.
Yep.
And they ran out of money.
Yep.
So racing dirt was just the only way they were going to keep racing.
That's right.
So him jumping in a Cup car, that wasn't totally out of his wheelhouse. You know what I mean? He had to go back a few pages in his notebook, but
I was fixing to say he had ran some
super late. I think they ran like super late models and stuff. Yeah. So he's got plenty of asphalt experience. So he just had to dig back a notebook a little bit, So he's a driver, He's made over $2 million last year.
He's a wheel man.
And he's a heck of a guy, and he's smart, and he uses his head. And that's if you're racing dirt late models, and if you think that if he's not someone you're looking up to, there's a problem. He's one of the best ever, and if you could ever get even close to what he's doing right now, you're doing good.
Yeah. So Christopher Bell kind of was the man of the night.
Yep. I thought it was actually
It was
a decent race. They could keep the cautions from lasting so long.
The track actually slicked off from pretty much from bottom to top. They ran the high line, which has been very unusual for the Cup guys in the past. They were up against the wall running cushion. Cushion finally just went away, and they were up against the wall pretty much. So in that aspect, it actually had a decent dirt track feel.
Yeah.
Which was, kind of impressive because they haven't had that in the past. It's been just on the bottom in the past and just roll to center. Wasn't too exciting to me. Anybody watches dirt racing at all, the people who don't, it's like, oh, they were on dirt. Blah, blah. Well, you're looking at it and it's like, they're not really racing this dirt. Well, I will give them that this race, they had to find the moisture in the track. They had to follow the cushion. They had to. So in that aspect, it was pretty good.
Dirt aspect really came into it. Yeah.
It did. And obviously because an old dirt driver prevailed in it, and Christopher Bell. He looked good. Ty Dillon and Tyler Reddick, all three dirt late model backgrounds running up front. So there's hope.
Yeah.
There's hope. So I don't know. It's I'm not sold on the Bristol dirt anymore though.
I don't understand the logistics of it. When they said on
That's
air
a pile of
how
dirt
much
loose.
dirt they had to bring in,
Yeah.
it's amazing. And then to take it all up and do it, I mean, that place got to be filthy.
And you can ask them when it's fresh and new. That's the nastiest place you'll ever be around trying to get through all that mud.
It was
Supposed to be
tough.
orange.
Oh, it was bad.
But then they go to other races in the beginning of the year too. So
oh, yeah.
the dirt race isn't the most silly thing they
Over
do.
at the
No.
the college.
Yeah,
It's not.
The dirt race isn't the
Coliseum
most silly
was-
thing they do.
No, that is not at all. So cool. So, C Bale taking it home. But anyway, guys, I want to real quick. We got to thank all our affiliates as always. You see it there on Junior's hat, SRI Performance. They are your one-stop shop
Get
for
on the
all
screen here, too.
things racing. Yep, there he goes. There he
I
goes.
supported our guys over there, Greg and Randy and Sasha and everyone else behind the scenes that nobody else sees. They all bust their butt to make that thing, the whole circle go around. So it's awesome to see that Greg goes out his way to help small teams like us, and just to see where Greg's at. 'Cause I know Greg started with nothing. To see where he's at is definitely cool to see, and it shows us that it's definitely possible. And it's super awesome to have him on board with us.
It's really funny because it's like all our affiliates on this show are some of your affiliates too. So it's great. It's a small world. It is a small
I
world
took my hoodie
for
off.
sure.
I had ProFab hoodie on.
That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, guys, I just got off the phone with our friend Blake over at SRI right before y'all got here, actually getting some a couple gear sets for mine over there. So guys, I got anything you need for your whatever racing application you have. I mean, you hear that coming from me running a asphalt late model type car over here to you guys
Stuff, everything.
running all the dirt.
Use new anything, they got it all.
The used stuff is impressive. It always impresses me to go back there and see all the used
Especially
stuff.
the asphalt stuff,
God, that stuff's crazy.
There's all those big teams, they run one race on them, and
That's it.
it's junk to them.
That's it. So if you guys need anything for your ride, head over to www.sriperformance.com. Go check out their brand new website. And while you're on there, load up that cart. Get it all full. Put in promo code CBONE, 10, that's C as in
Chicken.
BONE10. Get yourself 10% off there at time of checkout. You can always use 10% off. Same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, guys, as we were just talking about. They got anything you need, fab work wise, material wise. You guys need painted aluminum sheets. I know you guys are tearing some of them doors up already. head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get hooked up with them today. They get everything you need, and get you rolling. So, but while you're there, or you can go down the road, or you can just buy them from there. You can get some of them Profab headers.
Yes, sir.
And exhaust go on your ride. They are
Best in the business.
Best in the business. Andy was out at the Cup race last night because that's not just a coincidence. There's a pile of those cars that are running Profab headers.
Almost all of them.
Almost all of them. That is right. Profab has a hand in all the exhaust work on all the Cup Team's cars. So y'all head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust. Their slogan is they are quality that wins, and that is because it is 100% true.
For sure.
Not only that, they look good.
And
They
That
do,
sound
they,
good.
they do look. They do look good.
there's not a header company out there that is going to put out a product nicer with better quality, a nicer product that will do what it's supposed to do
And service,
better than Profab. And I've got friends that do headers and stuff, but touring pro the facility and just kind of knowing what they do, but getting there and actually seeing what they really do, the headers they put out for so many things, they're the best in the business. That's just that's the top of the chain, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it. That's just what it is.
That's right. That's right. So y'all head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust. Go talk to our buddy Andy over there. He'll hook you up. All right. So I guess we got to talk real quick about this week coming up. Martinsville coming up. Another short track. If they didn't have enough temper built up from last week, they can have some more.
See if we get more of this Priest and Larson drama.
Yeah, that was interesting. We'll talk about it real quick. But on our picks real quick, I think Connor took the win.
That's right.
With who'd you have?
I had Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe, I think, come in like 5th place.
Yep.
I want to say it was.
Somewhere up there.
And I ended up 2nd. And I took Jonathan Davenport. Sterling ended up 3rd because he took Joey Logano. We finished last and next to last. So
I used to find my luck on the wrong week.
woo, I guess that was my throwaway week. So Sterling, not here today, unfortunately. But he already talked to him, so he got to pick first. He is taking Denny Hamlin for week number 9 here at Martinsville.
We should have got his pick by default.
You should have.
We should
have.
Yeah.
You should have.
Give him,
Should have.
He wouldn't already let me know. I was just going to tell y'all to pick it for him.
give him Cody Ware.
You don't get to go. You get to go last. Oh, Cody Ware.
Yeah.
Oh, Cody Ware.
Cody
Ooh,
Ware.
we have to talk about that.
Well, actually,
boy.
I forgot. He
We have to talk about that.
ain't going to be racing this
Follow me on
weekend.
Facebook.
Yeah, he's done. He's done for. I am going to take. Who do I want? I think I.
Martinsville's a tough one.
That is a very tough one. It's tough to.
Martinsville where they're shifting.
I don't want to use him.
Chastain.
I thought about that, but he's so good on road courses and everywhere else.
How big's Martinsville?
Half mile,
Yep.
paperclip. I
Austin
think I was looking at Austin. Austin was being fast. You know what? Just because you said that, I'm taking Austin Dillon.
I think they've got a lot of momentum going on over there with Bush coming there.
Yep.
It's kind of lighting a fire in the whole program. And you get to a track like that, where I don't think Childress is behind, but they might be behind a little bit on maybe a super speedway type deal. But you get a half mile and you get to put it back in the driver's hands.
My only problem is now is it's so hard to pass there since they brought this new car. Is just
They got to kill
gotta
them to get
the
both of them out of the way.
we're shifting now, and they say, well, you just go in the corner, you miss the corner a little bit, just downshift real quick, and it'll get you right back
I
straight.
think they downshift anyway now.
Yeah, so it's so hard to pass. But I think he's been fast there before, so we'll see.
We're taking it.
We're taking it. We're taking it.
All right.
I'm blaming on them.
You're racing for second right now, man.
Connor, who you taking?
I am going to pull a David, what David did last week. Hopefully we'll have more success. I'm going to have a ride-in. I'm going to take Josh Berry in the 9.
Barry in the
Martinsville ringer. I don't know about a Cup car.
That's not a bad.
We'll
pick
see.
There.
Yeah.
It's not a bad pick. He was doing good in the dirt race last night until he got took out right there at the end.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what happens. You know, the new guy, they're using you up, and you can't let him do it.
No, he won't let him do it.
No,
He's
you can't let him do
Josh is a he'll stand up for himself. We'll say that. I've been around him enough racing down here in the South in late model stocks. He only takes so much.
If there's any track can get it done, it's Martinsville.
Yeah, he's done it before there.
I watched him
the 300.
Yeah, I was there that day where I think he led all 200 laps or however many.
That's impressive. All right,
Tough to beat.
real quick. I guess we got to touch on it. Cody Ware. That news came out today. It came out Sunday that he could not race. Said dealing with a personal matter. Come to find out today, he was arrested for assault and something else. I forgot what it is.
Yeah.
There's a felony assault charge on him. Something about strangulation and stuff like that. Didn't sound good. I am going to take a odd stance on this that a lot of people probably don't see. I do not condone it whatsoever. It is horrible. It is terrible. He should be suspended, I think. Yes, I am 100% behind NASCAR on this. What I am going to say is, though, and I found out Cody Ware, and I'm not using this as an excuse for anybody because it is no excuse. Cody Ware has been public about anxiety and depression in the past, but also I found out today in this write-up, he is diagnosed with Asperger's disease. Asperger's disease is on the same spectrum, something I'm close to, as autism. It is on the same spectrum. So, no, I am in no way condoning anything he did, by no means. But what I am saying in that is I hope that he gets the help that he needs to get, obviously, some anger issues or whatever else, we don't know, under control. So, as of right now, Cody Ware is suspended indefinitely in NASCAR. So,
Well, NASCAR has, well, anything, it should be innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
So I don't think any suspension should have went into place until it was proven that he did do what they said he did. But NASCAR also has a really strict drug policy. So you get drug tested. I'm not sure exactly how detailed they get. I know we just had to go through it.
Right.
But I remember years back, I don't know if it was J.J. Yelly or someone like that took some stuff for, I don't know if it was maybe anxiety or whatever it was they did. But they weren't allowed to take their medicine because the medicine they were on would have failed the drug test.
I think that was, wasn't that AJ?
Yeah,
AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah,
AJ
it was.
Allmendinger.
Yep. So, they weren't allowed to take their medicine.
Yep.
Because of the strict drug policy.
Medicine that he were prescribed.
Yeah. So, if there is an issue and you need to be on a prescribed medicine, you can get a driver's license on it. And if this is what you have to do to be able to function correctly,
right?
I don't think you should be denied your medicine. I think there's an area there. And with this deal, who knows? Was he not able to maybe be on the medicine he needed to be on to, if he did do it, to function right, or maybe he didn't do it at all. But I think there's a lot of areas that need to be looked at.
You're right,
especially with the drug policy with NASCAR. Of course, you don't want anybody on drugs.
No,
but
not at all.
If it's something you need, there's got to be a way to be able to do both. Take your medicine and race.
Well, that was a big deal. Just going off that was a big deal with Carl Edwards when he had the I think it was Claritin sponsorship back in the day. That was on a list of that was big sponsor on a Cup car. Could not take it. It was on a list of drugs.
That's allergy medicine, isn't it?
That's all it is. But it has
something for drowsiness, right?
No, it was a I can't.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it either.
I forgot something. Basically, there's a drug in it that people can use to make other drugs, and so it was on a list that they could not have. So I'm like, it's okay for them to be a sponsor.
To advertise it.
It's an allergy medicine, so these guys could see to drive, so their eyes aren't watering.
Store.
You could buy it over the counter, but shit, you can't. take it as I don't know.
We need to get an appeals panel on this one.
Yeah, let's get the appeals panel. Anybody can be on it.
this table right here.
I don't know if we can be on it.
It wouldn't work out for me.
I think it would work out for a lot of people, but it wouldn't work out for the direction of certain organizations.
Yeah,
no, no. You're right. Cool. All right. Well, I guess that's Martinsville coming up. So y'all check out Martinsville. What else we got? Race wise, what else is coming up? What else is coming up?
The show and the sign, right?
Yeah, let's get into all that. Well, speaking of, as I just said, it is month of April, which is Autism Awareness Month. Everybody knows, or a lot of people have seen that I have put up a post on our Facebook page. My son is a member of the Miracle League here in Florence. He is diagnosed with autism, and so he is a member of the Miracle League. He gets to play baseball. He loves it. All the kids out there love it. All special needs of some sort, and they just love going to play baseball. Well, they obviously, a lot of them love it. They've got one field here in Florence. These fields are very special. They're rubber field. Connor's been out there. You've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rubber mat, basically painted.
It looks
it looks great.
Perfect size, too.
Perfect size. I mean, so great for these kids and anybody of any age to go out there and enjoy it. So everybody gets a chance to play baseball. They all deserve a chance to play baseball. The problem is there's now 14 teams playing on this one field because there's so many, anywhere from 15 to 20 players per team.
Yeah.
Like my son's team a couple weeks ago, they were having fun out there. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing, but they had to cut their game back to 2 innings. They typically play 3 because there's just so many people on there. So they're trying to get another field. So we've already raised $400 on our on just our donations on that. But y'all come in, said y'all want to donate something.
How about you guys?
And help us out. Man, we appreciate it. Grab a sign over there and show us what we got over there.
What we did with Decam Fabrications and our custom neon sign shop, we built some signs for the signs we brought to you guys down to Hickory. This wall hanger, this was one we made, and it was just for display. It was a Longhorn long hanger, wall hanger. So it was floating around my truck, and when we were down at Speed Weeks, I said, I don't know what I want to do with this, but let me run through the pit area. I had a little bit of time. I kind of felt weird because, of course I'm a fan, but, to go up to these guys that I'm buddies with and ask them for their autograph, I'm like, man, I feel like a weirdo. But so I said, I got some time. Let me run through here. Let me get them all signed. So I tried to get all the top Longhorn guys that were at Speed Weeks at Volusia. So there was a couple I missed. JD wasn't there yet. And I missed Nick Hoffman, and I think I missed Bobby Pierce. But we got Steve Arpin, we got Rumley, we got McCready, we got
no JD.
Is that Strickler?
Strickler's on there. So we got a whole bunch of them. I don't know. There's probably 10 or so on there.
We got. Let's see. Who we got down there? 76 of Brandon.
Overton.
Brandon Overton's down there.
I'm not sure. There's a bunch on there, but we got a bunch of them. So what we did, I went through and tried to get as many of the Longhorn house drivers, and the head guys there to sign it. And I made one of one Florida Speed Weeks 2023, and I am a fan of all racing, but I don't hang anything up my wall. I don't do any of this. I just didn't know what to do with it, and it was still in the truck. And I said, you know what, this is what we're gonna do with it. So we're gonna donate it. And I'm sure there's a fan out there. These signs here without the autographs, they sell them for $100. That's what they are. That's with no autographs on it. If you want to go get one, and I don't even know if Longhorn makes these. Possibly soon, but I don't even think you can get even just the sign itself. So now it's a one of one. It's a custom Longhorn chassis built by Decam Fabrication, the sign, and it's got a bunch of the Longhorn house drivers' signatures on it. 100% original. There's not ever going to be another one of these ever like this. And I figure, give it to you. And we talked about this program and what you're trying to do. I don't think why, you said you got 400. There's a fan out there somewhere that should be willing to throw at least $400 toward your program for that. Without the signatures, it's $100 bill. So
there you go.
So you take that, and if you want to do a raffle for it, auction, however you want to do it, and raise as much money as you can, that's from us.
Well, we sure greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. We're going to have it up here. It might be tonight. Who knows? Between next couple of days, we will have it on our Facebook page, doing something with it, whether it be a raffle, auction, or something. We're gonna do something big with it, and we cannot thank y'all enough for supporting the cause like that. That is that's a big thing for us. For me personally, it's a big thing, and we got one more over here.
Yeah, a Race Life for Real T-shirt.
We got a Race Life for Real T-shirt that we're gonna have to get Derrick McGrew Jr. here to sign.
Heck yeah.
And you can do whatever you want with this too. It's got the slogan on the back.
It's not just a race; it's a lifestyle.
That's right.
And if anybody wants to buy one, we've got them. They're $20 a piece. So just hit us up on Facebook, Derrick McGrew Jr. Racing, Race Life for Real, or Derrick McGrew, myself. If you're seeing this, you're probably you're friends with one of us. So just reach out. They're $20 a piece. We got a bunch of colors. Or Derrick McGrew Jr. swag. We got it all. So
for sure. Well, guys, we greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. That is something we need. Like I said, we're trying to raise as much money as we can for a great organization like that, and that's awesome. We surely appreciate that, and I think there's some guys. There's even some guys over there that'll like that.
Heck yeah,
sure they will.
So we appreciate that so much, so much. But a little bit more business to get out here, guys. Y'all heard Earl Ramey there earlier. So y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. If you need some power under your hood, there's plenty of these Longhorns out there right there with some Earl Ramey Racing Engines under there. So y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Get some time on that chassis dyno. Y'all have used that chassis dyno.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty times, yeah.
Earl, when we get a motor and he does one, he wants us to be on it every time. So we try. It just, it's good. We got to coordinate it with when we're down south racing, So.
That's right.
But we do.
That's right. So that chassis dyno is a huge help and tool to use. That is so valuable. So head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. He gave his number on there. It's sitting there. It's on the screen. but also head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines on Facebook. You can definitely get in touch with those guys for sure. But guys, also I want to point y'all in the direction of Rev Max Racing Apparel, guys. I wish I had one.
Any word on your new one?
Real soon.
The debut.
The debut of the new
re-debut.
It's the re-debut. But no, they got some of the best designs, guys, around. Taylor over there, she does a great job designing some custom suits from Rev Max Racing. You guys head over there if you're in the market for a top-notch racing suit, custom suits. Head over to Rev Max Racing. They just brought out a new product this week, a gear bag.
I saw that,
which was super nice. I
think
I might need me one of them.
Yeah, gotta get the whole collection.
might have to get one. So y'all head over to Rev Max Racing. I saw Remington Prince. Him and his son just got a matching suit.
That's cool.
So from Rev Max. So y'all head over to Rev Max Racing. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff, and they will. You see some of the best looking stuff around. So y'all head over there. Also, MPM, www.marketwithmpm. Y'all head over there. Talk with Tanya. If you're upcoming, I know you know this, even though you're not with Tanya, but at MPM, but you guys both know how important the marketing side is of racing. First, you got to be a halfway decent driver. I mean, that's a must. But I've known some good drivers out there that don't get with the right marketing folk and just can't make anything happen. You got to be able to market yourself.
Yeah.
And so what better way to do it with someone that's been in the game for a long time? So head over to www.marketwithmpm.com and get hooked up with Tanya today. Well, cool. All right, so back to y'all. What's coming up next?
As soon as we get back, I'll be opening Saratoga Sude for their opening night on Friday. And we're thinking about going to Can-Am for the, I think, Dirt Car Series race on Saturday. and 5-mile point on Sunday. So we'll see what happens, but we'll definitely be at Malta on Friday night. And said we're super stoked and excited for the season, and it's like high expectations. You know, we've been doing a lot of stuff this offseason, especially with the NASCAR stuff, and there's been a lot of stuff going on. You know, there's been a lot of people, you know, helping us too. So I just can't wait to see what this year brings, and hopefully we can, you know, go perform really well.
All right, well, I got to ask because there's a lot of people wondering already with the ARCA deal. Anything sit down yet as far as schedule-wise, or still working on that?
Still working on that. Not exactly. You know, there's a few races that we had in mind that we'd like to get to, but said it's still in the works. Definitely going to be able to try to get to at least a couple races here this year and next year. Hopefully have a pretty decent schedule to hit with the races. So still in the works, like I said. But you guys will be the first to know when we find out. And like you said, I appreciate all you guys' support, and we couldn't do without you.
As always, man, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate you.
We also have a couple other things. Michael Leach, as you know, he was supposed to drive our car at Lakeview, and it rained out. Well, he's gonna still run our car. It's probably going to be next month once everything's up to and going. But we're gonna have him come up and spend the weekend with us. And
sweet. We
told him, you know, he was kind of bummed when it fell through because it rained. But I said, well, you know what, let's do this. And he was stoked to be able to come do it. So he's still going to come up, run one of our DCAM cars up there with Earl Ramey Power, and do something he never did before. And he's going to get three different nights at 3 different tracks. Oh, wow. So that's going to be cool. And like I said, Derrick's going to do the NASCAR stuff. Hopefully get that. And if everything works out with what we've got going on, I think you might see him maybe dabble in a late model here and maybe a UMP style modified, and maybe even get down here and you're next to the woods and get one of these asphalt late models. So we're gonna do a lot. We travel a lot, but we're gonna keep doing traveling. And he's got his business, but him and his best friend Logan Montgomery here. If you see Derrick, Logan's usually with him.
Logan's been sitting over there. He's been quiet the whole time. Stick your head in here, Logan.
Yeah, he's over here.
Tell everybody, hey.
What's up, everyone?
You gotta get down here. You gotta come down.
Yeah, gotta get down lower. Gotta get down lower. There you go.
Yeah, Logan's Derrick's best friend, and he's whenever you see Derrick, even if Logan can't come with us, he's got something to do with what we're doing. And him and Derrick, they've got some stuff in the works here. Yeah. Something outside of racing, and it's pretty cool for me as a dad. I'm kind of like Logan's dad too, and his parents like Derrick. They got to watch them trying to build businesses on their own and do stuff that they enjoy and love, and they can put their heart in it like I did with Race Life for Real. This is what I do. And it's not always about money. It's, I'm doing something that I love. Somehow we're paying the bills and we're continuing to do it. There's not anything left over, but we're enjoying it. So,
that's right.
They're doing the same thing here, and I think they're going to have some cool stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And I know all you guys are going to be jumping on board and supporting them, but just stay tuned and just know that it's not always just Derrick. This is the face you usually see, but Logan's there. He's just as important. He might be behind the scenes, but they couldn't make it happen without both of them. So
yeah, it's for sure. And
you got to have somebody to do the heavy lifting behind the scenes.
Yeah, and it's
I give him credit for it.
One of the things I tell him all the time, I really push the fact that a lot of times when you have a partnership, there's one face seen all the time. Like a rock and roll band, the lead singer, he's the famous guy, but he's nothing without the drummer and the guitar player.
That's right.
So as long as the drummer and the guitar player, if the band's getting bigger, it's better, good for everybody.
I'm just carrying Connor's gear bag. That's
yep.
I wish.
Same thing with these guys. I tell them all the time. Don't let either one of your heads get too big, and just know that if something good happened for one person, it's that one person. You're the same person.
It goes both ways,
That's right.
So we got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I know a lot of people like to follow what we do in our life, and he gets on me about it all the time about social media stuff. Like you said, it's really important. But like he's been on me about it lately, about how people do enjoy seeing what we do and being
just hit that record button.
Yeah, being along on the ride with us. So me and him got some things going on, like I said, behind the scenes, and try to come out. It'll hit the social media soon here, and we'll keep you guys all up to date on it. But if you can, go make sure to go over to the new racing page on Facebook at Derrick McGrew Jr. Racing. Give that a like, and try to get to 1,000 followers here. And over on TikTok too. Said we've been back at it, especially with the upcoming race season. We'll be posting a lot more videos at dmr.racing on TikTok, and just make sure to go like that and share it as much as you can. And I appreciate all your guys' support.
Good deal, man. Good deal. All right. Well, I reckon we done went long enough here. What you got coming up this week? Connor, you
About-
you was talking about the other night.
About
Well, that clock's an hour
yeah,
behind.
I don't know. A couple hours I'll be on a plane to Panama for a mission trip. So that's where I'm gonna be there all week.
Panama.
Yeah.
You're going to work, though. You're going to work.
Yeah,
work?
There'll be some kind
What
of a mix of both, I guess.
What are you doing out there?
Church missions trip, just helping. We have a missionary down there, and just helping out with their church. I think we're painting a fence one day, hosting some teen events, just the whole packed agenda.
That's pretty cool. Be fun.
Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be rough. 3 flights, or tonight, I guess. First flight out of Myrtle Beach, 6 a.m. So that'll be a blast.
Be
But,
up early.
Yeah, once we get there, it'll be good though.
You just ride with them back.
We got you, man. Let's go. Ain't never been to Panama. Let's do it. Race life for real Panama edition.
But that's pretty much my week.
You're going to be down there for a week, pretty much,
Yep,
right?
probably back late Monday night. So
Nice.
pretty much a week. Yep.
Taking a spring break to go down there and help out people.
That's cool. A lot more young kids should do stuff like that. We do it through this. You see it all the time with our Race Life
yeah.
Real. We're up north on the Canadian border, signing some little kids to go-kart contract just to try to share our social media platform and our sponsors with them. Down south doing it.
That's right.
Australia. We've got a lot of U.S. race fans in Australia, and they're like family. They watch everything we do. They'll be watching this, but tomorrow.
Right.
So, and it's just great being able to travel around the world like we have, just racing and be involved with race people, coming from, no money, just doing it because you love it. Just like church, you're not getting paid, you're doing it because you love it. It makes you feel good, and that's what we do. That's how we met.
That's it. You
Exactly.
were right. You were right. Oh, cool. Well, one more affiliate I want to push out there. As y'all see, Dixie Made, guys, they are your source here in Florence for all kinds of, I guess we call it Southern apparel down here. They but all kind of cool stuff that a lot of people, especially in this area, like. They got stuff from all our Carolina Clemson merch.
Big down here.
Big rivalry. Big rivalry. Yeah, we like to.
Which side are you on?
Carolina.
Okay, that's right. I knew that. Just making sure. Making sure.
I wasn't following either one of them, but what were teams? Carolina and Clemson?
Yeah. Game.
You like Carolina?
Yes.
Then I'm going to become a Clemson fan.
Oh,
Boy.
That's right now.
that's the worst thing you can be.
And that's only because that's obviously going to be his arch.
We're not going to be on the podcast no more.
Right?
Hey, man.
Hit in. Show ends. I'm not even sending it out.
Boxing
With
gloves.
no episode this week. Sorry.
Boxing gloves are coming next time.
Look right over there. There's a Gamecock.
That's
on
right.
The wall.
I'm sorry.
No, Andy's a
We've
pretty
talked
big
about it.
Gamecock fan too, right?
Do what?
Andrew?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He went to Carolina.
Hey,
I thought.
Carolina baseball looking pretty hot this year.
Yeah, Carolina baseball is looking pretty good.
Can't believe they get
So yeah, head over to Dixie Made for all your Carolina Clemson merch if you want to. Bags, coolers, tumblers, Drake, Habo, Southern Struts, Southern Fried Cotton, New Old South, all kinds of other apparel, guys. Access Waterfowl's one of them. Y'all head over there, get all your cool camo gear and all that stuff.
I like those camo hats. So they got some over there.
They got plenty of them.
everything.
Plenty of them.
Make sure
Plenty of
check that
everything.
out after the show.
You might just have to. You might just have to. So y'all head over to Dixie Made. All right, guys. Well, we sure appreciate y'all.
Heck yeah.
Y'all just coming, stopping by, driving an hour up here. Probably more than that. Well, probably 2 hours through traffic.
It was like an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah,
but,
it's not too bad.
When we're only an hour and 20 minutes away, we really had no excuse.
And you got to
not
see me.
if I didn't come, then that'd be kind of like a kick right in the butt.
You drove 13 hours and then drive one more to come see me. Yeah.
We wouldn't hear that of
I
it.
can't imagine if you were within an hour and a half of my house and you didn't get a hold of us. I'd probably take it
Yeah,
personal.
we'd give you.
I would probably take it personal.
I saw y'all were coming. I was just like, y'all got to come over to the
for
house.
sure.
Y'all got to come do a live show with us.
Heck yeah.
So,
Well.
well, cool, guys. All right. Well, y'all doing all the good stuff this week. Me and Kayla are heading to Orlando Wednesday for our anniversary.
Man, I can't
So,
believe you're gonna miss a race.
You're missing the race. We are. We're both missing a race at Florence Motor Speedway this weekend because we're out of town.
And what
So,
day do they race at Florida?
they race Saturday?
Might stay down here for a couple extra
They're going to
days.
be gone. Car's there.
Car's there.
If
You talking to that one standing outside that window right there? You're liable to be in it.
Listen, the car's there. We're here.
Hey, you can probably fit in my car.
Yeah, I was fixing to say you definitely fit in Connor's car.
I know I'll fit in that seat.
hey,
Yeah,
you
you'll
can
fit in
both
that
race.
seat. They
I'm all right.
but so anyway, so anybody's in town, head over to Florence Motor Speedway this Saturday. Double night racing. Twin races.
we get two
every
features.
yeah,
Yeah.
two double features. Double features.
Yeah, we were good to go by a second feature. Have it all figured out.
Yeah, have it all figured out. by the
Another door afterwards, but
Yeah,
Hey, man.
well, we got one hanging up on the wall already. What's another
The
one?
charter class, that's always expected.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us this week. Appreciate y'all coming down.
I appreciate
for
you guys
sure.
having us.
Anytime. Y'all, and whenever y'all are close by, you know you're gonna be on.
Heck yeah.
All right, guys. Well, Connor, be careful.
Yes, sir. You too.
And y'all have fun at the beach.
Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a safe trip.
We'll do it. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody watching tonight, everybody listening to this show. Also want to thank SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, MPM Marketing, and Dixie Made coming on board. But anyway, guys, I guess we will talk to y'all next time.
Have a good one.